Hello, my friends. It's another beautiful day to read a story. Today's story is from the amazing Dr. Seuss and it's called The Sneetches. Let's get into the story. Grab your stuffing. Now, the star belly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star belly snitches would brag. We're the best kind of snitch on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain belly sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. When the star belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs. When the star belly snitches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics or parties or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain belly snitches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them from year to year. Whoa. Then one day, it seems, while the plain belly snitches were mopping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. My friends, my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, he announced in a voice clear and clean. And I've heard about your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix it. I'm the fix it up Charpy. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I walk at great speed, and my walk is 100% guaranteed. Then quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, you want stars like a star belly snitch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard. So they clambered inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clanked, and it bumped, and it jerked, and it burped, and it bucked them about, but the thing really worked. When the plain belly snitches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon stars. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties. Good grief, groaned the ones who had stars at the first. We're still the best snitches and they're the worst. But now, how in the world will we know if which kind is what or the other way round? They all frowned. Then up came McBean with a very sly wink and he said, things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who? That is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best snitches on bitches. And all it will cost you is $10 eaches. Belly stars are no longer in style, said McBean. What you need is a trip through my star off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars so you won't look like snitches who have them on theirs. And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then, with snots in the air, they paraded about and they opened their beaks and they let out a shout. We know who's who, we know who's who. Now there isn't a doubt, now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of snitches are snitches without. Then, of course, those with stars all frightfully got mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star of machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guessed, things really got in a horrible mess. All the rest of that day, on those wild screaming bitches, the fix-it-up Charpy kept fixing up snitches off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines, they raced round and round about, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money. They kept running through until neither the plane nor the star bellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up Charpy packed up and he went. Ha 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 ha! He laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They never will learn. Ha 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 ha! They never will learn. No, you can't teach a snitch. But McBain was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the snitches got quite really smart on that day. The day they decided that snitches are snitches and no kind of snitch is the best on the beaches. That day, all the snitches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs. The end. What a wonderful story that is. The Sneetches. Very good. How about another story from, you guessed it, my friends, the wonderful Dr. Seuss. This story is called The Zacks. One day, making tracks in the prairie of Prax, came a north-going Zacks and a south-going Zacks. And it happened that both of them came to a place where they bumped. There they stood, foot to foot, face to face. Look here now, I say, you're blocking my path. You're right in my way. I'm a north-going Zax, and I always go north. Get out of my way now, and let me go forward, said the north-going Zax. Hey, who's on whose way? I always go south, making south-going tracks, so you're in my way. And I ask you to move and let me go south in my south-going groove. Snapped the south-going Zax. Then the north-going Zax pulled his chest up in pride. I never. Take a step to one side right now, and I'll prove to you that I won't change my ways if I have to keep standing here 59 days, said the north-going Zax. And I'll prove to you, yelled the south-going Zax, that I can stand here in the prairie of Prax for 59 years, for I live by a rule that I learned as a boy back in south-going school. Never budge. That's my rule. Never budge in the list. Not an inch to the west, not an inch to the east. I'll stay here, not budging. I can and I will. If it makes you and me and the whole world stand still, said the south-going Zax. Well, my friends, of course the world didn't stand still. The world grew. In a couple of years, the new highway came through, and they built it right over those two stubborn sacks and left them there standing unbudged in their tracks. The end. Those are two amazing stories from an amazing author, read to amazing children like my friends. Yes. Until the next time, my friends, who's amazing, you are